without giving away the secret sauce, what are some of those things that people can do to help, like, especially salespeople? What can you do to like invest in yourself? What do you see most people are lacking?
All right. So for me, I don't have a degree, but what I do is I read an insane amount of books.
Mm-hmm.
So I compensate based on that. But then what I do is that I absorb a lot of content and I always make sure and take something that I can action. So for example, I bought this from a sales trainer online. It's flashcards. It has like flashcards based on objections. So this was like 30 US. Like nothing, invest, right? So the thing is, ask yourself, am I learning something new every single month or every single day? That's an objective of mine.
I was just learning about this and about this far in, realized I might need to buy another book so I can understand this book, but it's a good journey to get there, right?
Yeah. So and all of these things help you, as you say, sell better. So as you say, I'll be able now to understand that I don't have to, by developing myself and understanding my sales skills, I know now how to sell somebody how to fix their boiler before it goes bad. Because I would now understand, because something I'm diving deep into, because I have a training coming up shortly, is how you understand the latent needs of a client so that you can get them to convert. Because we all know everybody can buy a product or service. It's just that it's a latent need. It's not something they have now. So my boiler is working great.
It's great
until it stopped working.
Yeah.
Right. So and is learning all of these things, and as I say, it doesn't take long to learn something to adapt it to an extent. You don't need to spend 4 years doing a degree like long ago. You can literally learn something in an afternoon, execute it, and then implement it into what you do as a daily basis. So to me, the fact that we have so much technology, so much access to information, like you don't even need a mentor. Technically, you could find the videos online.
You can have 100 mentors. You can have 100 mentors, and everyone can be an absolute expert in this tiny little niche. Like,
and you get better. and the thing is, and this is how obsessive I get. I find, like, when I'm doing training for clients, I find the top mentors in those industries. So, for example, in the insurance industry, there's a guy called Sanjay Tolani. He's the top, one of the top insurance advisors in the world. I think he does like 265 MDRTs. So in other words, he sells an MDRT a day. So he does $1 million insurance sale a day. If you want to get the idea of what the volume he does, yeah.
I mean, so, geez, maybe you should pick up the pace a little. That's hitting a number. That's ringing a bell, right? Bing!
Yeah. And then how long does it take us to spend time, as I say, taking an hour out of a day to listen to something, write some notes, execute it for some of your customers? It's not that hard to do. Like, when you think about it, 15, 20 years ago, for someone who've been in sales for a long time, it was harder then.
Oh, yeah.
But now, that's it.
That's right.
That's it.
It's amazing. I was talking to someone just today, and they're like, "Oh, data. I don't know, is our data any good and stuff, and GDPR, and can I send emails? Can I not?" And I was like, well, what you should do is you should delete it all, right? You don't need it because you've got it. You've got it. Like, don't delete it all. I'm being, maybe dramatic there. But like, if you go through it and your clients keep them, that's impertinent information. But all of those random leads that have been on there for 7 years and stuff, go and search for that person on LinkedIn. Build it out on LinkedIn. Cut down your CRM costs so you don't need that data, and go and spend it on having LinkedIn Pro so you can build some sales nav lists and build it in there. But I honestly think it's at this point more valuable because, great, I've got a list of people from my data. They're all in the right industry, and I think that they work there. I'm going to find out.
Yep.
You don't know any of that. You don't know any of that.
Again, that's the beauty of making the calls to find out. And the thing is, and that's a great opener, because if you're unsure about the GDPR, pick up the phone. Hey, Jarrod here. Is it okay if I send you emails about our products and services? Great. Which ones do you think is most important to you right now? What objectives?
Well, I don't know, Jarrod. Boom.
Right.
And then you're in a conversation, right?
How long does that take? And what what upsets me? When you ask sales professionals to make calls and they come up with excuses, I want to punch them. I get so upset because I'm thinking, it's for a sale though. It's to make money. I'm not calling you. Yep. You're not making a call and it's going to cost you. It's going to make you money. What I realize a lot of sales professionals don't think of, and even when like how I operate on LinkedIn, you're not doing it with enough people.
Yeah.
Because you can't expect a result if you're only speaking to one person. You have to speak to 10, 15, 20, 30 conversations.
Easy.
You're not doing it because you didn't want to pick up the phone to make one.
But to get good, to loosen your tongue, like why have I lost the 5 fights I've had in my life is because I've had 5 fights, you know? And I'm like,
exactly.
I don't know how to throw a punch. I don't know how to do anything. So I would lose that fight, right?
Like,
if I'd been in the gym every day doing the thing and the stuff, then that's a different conversation. But it's air miles. It's got to put the miles on the road to be like,
exactly. Yeah, it's so funny. And again, that's what separates the great sales professionals from the ones who are just average, because they don't want to take that risk and make the extra push or make that 1 extra call or the 2 extra calls. There's like, great.
When I look at my own career, I know for a fact that the defining moment is humbling myself and going from national account manager, blah, 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 back into lead gen and having to be like, hello, Mr. Best-Mitchell, it's Jay calling from, right? Because I'm always like trying to find your name. I used to work in a job in an insurance company, actually, where it auto-dialed. Auto-dialers are hard because you're literally like, hello, Jarrod, as the system comes up with the information, and you're like, who is this? And you're like, it is Jay calling from GL Pro. Right, so you had an insurance policy. Right? You're trying to get that. So you're always on this back foot.
Exactly, but you mentioned a good point there. I don't think you can be great in sales if there wasn't a humbling moment where you had to get your ego pulled back down. And I would safe to tell you that happened to me at least twice in my career. So, or maybe even 3 times if I probably think about it clearly. So, but now, as you say, I totally understand how to, as I say, over the years, you start to learn the importance of silence and sometimes just letting things be. And I think more importantly, when you realize when things are good, you literally tell yourself, don't celebrate, make another call.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I do now.
Yeah.
Like, I had a great call with a customer. I was like, right, send an email, pick up the phone, call another one.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember when you have the good call of the day and you're like, oh, that is lunch. That is lunch. Whereas now I'm like, that's a good call.
Momentum.
Lunch can wait in for a few hours, right? Lunch can get in the way of this momentum if it has to when I'm starving in a few hours, because like right now is good. And it's also, I really think it's the pendulum, right? Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So like if I'm negative, they're more negative. Like it's, you know, if I'm like, hey, it's Jay calling from, you know,
yeah,
in the same way. But if I'm just like, that was awesome, right? Let's call Jarrod. Hey, Jarrod, how you doing? I'm Jay calling from something, right? All of a sudden,
flows way better.
Right, and I'm in a place where I'm not. Unfortunately, is the curse of the salesperson is that people can smell desperation from about 80 miles.
Especially when they say the word discount. Discount and desperation go hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly. Or my favorite now is, after knowing sales, is when it's the end of the month and be like, hey, how's your target going? And you see people. Like, all right, I'm getting a deal. Oh, I'm getting a deal. Fantastic news. Great news. You really need to close me. Let's do this.
Yep.
So, and I think that humbling moment can really, really help people, because the thing I see a lot in young salespeople is they don't have that. Like, I'm happy to make a fool of myself and then own up to like I don't know is the most powerful 3 words I use.
Yep.
You know, how much does that cost? I don't know. I'm going to have to go and look at it, because if I say something now, I'm going to be like loads or not enough, because much like yourself, everything we do is bespoke. So I'm like, it's like, how much have you got? Like, which isn't that. But
I did that to my business partner once. We were on a call with a client, and the client the conversation was flowing really well, and then the client started to ask us, so what do your prices look like? And I'm like, Lyndon, what do we charge? And Lyndon was like, and of course he said, no, we need to get back to you and look at everything. And then after the call, he was like, you're a dick.
What's wrong with you?
Why do you keep doing that? I was like, because it's fun to do.